Golden Opportunities is paid for by Elder Productions.
Hello and happy Mother's Day. I'm Lori Steiner. Welcome to Golden Opportunities.
Today, there's a treatment for heart disease that even some doctors don't know about, but we do, and we'll tell you all about it. Then, want to volunteer? You'll help others and yourself. We'll offer information and opportunities. Mom's the word. We have stories that brought a smile to Mom's face. Plus, we'll share photographs that document what it's like to be Black in America. And we'll tell you about a trust where you win and the IRS loses.
It's time to get GOing, so pull up a chair and join us at our kitchen table for Golden Opportunities. There's a heart treatment that's non-invasive, increases your energy and circulation, and decreases shortness of breath and chest pains. If you have a heart condition, you're probably saying, sign me up right now. But just what is this option that isn't often heard of? Nurse Kim Rosser has joined us in the UH Broadcast Center to tell us. Kim is an EECP therapist in the Cardiovascular Services of University Hospital's Samaritan Medical Center. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so EECP therapy. So is that a clue to what this treatment really is all about?
It is. It stands for Enhanced External Counterpulsation Therapy. And I'm a therapist and do that at the center in Ashland.
So what is this an actual treatment for?
Well, it's for patients with coronary artery disease who suffer from angina-type symptoms such as chest pain, shortness of breath, decreased energy, those things.
So if someone has that coronary artery disease, aren't they candidates for an angioplasty or a stent? Most, that's what you usually hear about.
Right, right. And they could be, and they could have already had that actually, and that didn't quite make everything better enough, so now they want this therapy. Or it depends on their anatomy, the severity of their disease. Maybe they're just not candidates to have those other things.
Okay, so tell us how EECP works.
Okay, well the patients come in and they run a treatment, and there's blood pressure cuffs that are on their calves, their thighs, and across their buttocks. Looks much like a blood pressure cuff. And they pump sequentially, milking blood up to the heart to increase the blood flow, circulation to the heart, so the next time it beats, it supplies blood to the entire body.
Okay, so it's timed with the beating of the heart, right?
It is. They're actually hooked up to an EKG monitor, and so it runs off timing of that. The nurse runs the treatment and syncs it to time just right.
Okay, so how long is a session of something like that?
It's 1 hour. There's 35 sessions, so they do it over 7 weeks, Monday through Friday, 1 hour a day, and that's it.
So how have the results been since
the results
you
are
started
fantastic. The data says about 80% of patients notice a significant improvement. However, we see better than that. Most of ours are at like 90%. They really have an improved quality of life.
So it just gets more blood flow to the area?
It puts more blood to the heart so that on the next heartbeat, it's going to pump all that extra blood out. So it's going to essentially create collateral circulation, which is like extra pathways kind of around the blockage that exists.
Oh, okay. So the patient is completely done after only 35 treatments?
They are done. And the results kind of vary on how long they last. Data says 2 to 3 years. We have patients we have one guy in particular that comes every year because that's when Medicare pays it. They pay it once a year.
Okay, so Medicare does pay it. That's a good thing to know, too.
It is Medicare approved, insurance company approved, yes, absolutely. But he comes back every year because he just loves the results, and so it makes him feel so good that he wants to do it every year. However, I have another guy that's 9 years out, just talked to him a couple weeks ago. He's still feeling fantastic and just hasn't needed it again.
Okay, so it's a very personal kind of thing.
Yeah.
Why haven't we heard about this treatment before?
Well, I think because there's not that many. We are one of 13 in the state of Ohio that actually offer this. So I think it's just not widely known because a lot of facilities don't actually have it to offer.
Okay, well, we want this to be widely offered. It sounds like a great alternative.
It is a great thing. There's actually a picture of a dog's heart that you can see that it shows the difference. They did some films in a cath lab of its heart before and after, and you can see the crazy difference of the blood flow afterward.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So
This treatment can truly be life-changing for some patients with coronary artery disease. To learn more about it, use the information that's coming up next. And my thanks to Nurse Kim Rosser for sharing such heartening news.
Thanks for having me.
Learn more by calling the Center for Lifelong Health at University Hospitals at 1-844-312-LIFE. That's 5433. Or visit their website, www.uhhospitals.org/lifelonghealth. Next, we need a volunteer. But first, today we show our moms how much we care by giving them flowers, cards, gifts, and more. So, how much does all of this affection add up to? Here's a hint. The total begins with a B. We'll count up the cost, then bring out the bill when we return.
Right now, the trusted experts of University Hospital's Seidman Cancer Center and the most advanced cancer-fighting technologies are in 17 community locations. That's leading-edge care, where you're most comfortable. That's UH Seidman Cancer Center. Right now, proton therapy, a revolutionary treatment for many types of cancer, is available for the first time in Ohio, and only at University Hospital's Seidman Cancer Center. That's the future of cancer care. That's UH Seidman Cancer Center.
Around $14 billion is spent on Mother's Day, and moms deserve it. When we add up all they do for us, we know we could never completely repay them.
We know AARP is at work on behalf of older adults, but in addition to their hardworking staff, AARP also relies on numerous volunteers to carry out their efforts. So they know firsthand the importance of volunteers. And today, Linda Fegler is here with information on how you can help honor a volunteer in your area. Linda is a volunteer with AARP Ohio. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Now, we know that AARP volunteers make a difference in the communities, but you're actually looking even beyond AARP for volunteers, right?
Yes, we are. We want to hear about people who are 50 and over who are using their skills, Lori, and experience to make a significant difference in their communities. And that's why we're asking individuals to honor a volunteer's dedication, commitment, and creativity with a nomination for the 2017 AARP Ohio Andrus Award for Community Service. It's AARP's most prestigious and visible state volunteer award for community service.
Okay, Andrus sounds familiar.
Yes,
Why is that?
Good. The award is actually named after the founder of AARP, Ethel Percy Andrus, and those who receive the award are individuals who embody the volunteer service that is her legacy.
Okay, and nominations are currently open?
Yes, they are. AARP Ohio is now accepting nominations for that 2017 Andrus Award for Community Service, which again honors Ohioans who are age 50 and over who are sharing their experience, talent, and skills to enrich the lives of their communities.
So what kind of recognition do they get?
Well, the individual is recognized nationally and at a state and local level, and the organization also receives a $1,500 donation.
That could make a big difference for some of these organizations.
It certainly could.
So what's involved in nominating somebody?
Well, the nomination process is very easy. You can go online to www.aarp.org/Andrus Award or call 1-888-OUR-AARP or 1-888-687-2277. And we encourage organizations like healthcare systems, food banks, churches, anyone really who is relying on volunteers to enrich the lives of their community members to think about who they can recognize, who's age 50 and over, from their ranks for their outstanding service and contributions.
What kind of people in the past have gotten the award?
People who've really stepped up to the plate and believe in helping the lives of other people as volunteers. And as you mentioned, AARP is also a volunteer organization. We want to recognize the significant contributions we boomers and others over 50 are making. And this award is really a very special type of recognition. Nominations for this year's award will be accepted through June 2nd at the AARP Ohio office.
Okay, I hope some good volunteers are nominated.
There's a lot of them out there.
Yes, there are.
As you have found out.
They very much deserve it. So
yes, thank you.
We know the impact that senior volunteers have in our communities, so let others know as well. Follow Linda's advice and nominate a super senior volunteer today. My thanks to Linda for volunteering to be with us today to share this opportunity.
Thanks, Lori, for the time.
For more information, call AARP Ohio at 866-389-5653 or log on to www.aarp.org/Ohio. Next, making moms smile. Looking for places to go, things to do? Welcome to our community calendar. Making sure your beneficiaries benefit according to your plan isn't always as easy as it sounds. Learn how to make sure you're matching your beneficiaries with your wishes at a complimentary seminar presented by the Lineweaver Financial Group. The presentation takes place Tuesday, May 16th at 6 p.m. and again Thursday, May 18th at 1 p.m. at the Lineweaver offices in Valley View. To reserve your seat, call 1-888-313-4009 or visit www.lineweaver.net.
On Mother's Day and every other day, there's nothing like the great feeling you get when you see your mom smile. Dentist Steve Marsh is here today with a few mom mouth makeovers that brought a smile to many a mom's face. So today, mom's the word, right?
Yeah, Lori, and that includes my own mom. My mom was a teacher into her 70s. There's a picture of my mom and myself. Mm-hmm. I would say that's about 30 years ago, judging by my hair and glasses.
You don't look a day older.
Yeah, thank you. So my dad was a dentist, as we've talked about. Mom was a teacher. She loved imparting knowledge, mostly elementary school kids. She knew the effect that she had on so many people. And actually, for me, one of the best things about honoring my mom is doing Golden Opportunities in a way that I can teach viewers about dentistry. It sort of combines both my mom and my dad, their passion, and hopefully the passion to your viewers. And actually, Lori, you know, it's funny, I get a lot of emails and texts from people who've watched the show, sometimes viewers, sometimes dentists who will call me and say, what did you talk about? There aren't very many places on television or in the media where people talk about dentistry, what's changing, what's going on. So this has been a really good venue.
Okay, so you're carrying on that legacy on to the future. And I'm sure what you said about your mom would have made her smile.
Thank you. Very kind. Thank you.
Some other examples of moms you've made smile.
Yeah, so a lot of moms have come to me over the years and wanted their teeth done. Before we get into it, there's a picture of our daughter Stephanie. Speaking of moms, she's a mom to Owen and Aiden, and Owen's just turned 5. You can see that beautiful smile on Stephanie's face. And there's my own wife, Wendy, speaking of moms, and our 2 daughters, Abby and Stephanie.
Happy Mom's Day to them.
Yeah, happy Mom's Day. They've been behind me and our family, and Wendy's always done a marvelous job. Incidentally, she was a dental hygienist when I met her in dental school, and she still works in my office today. But getting back to moms who come in for dental work, there's a lot of them do. Some come on their own, and some are people who've been brought in by family members. And I thought we'd show some pictures that we can show some befores and afters of the people who've made that attempt to change their smile.
Okay, here we go.
This is a very dramatic one. This is a woman who was brought in by her daughter. In the picture of the before, she had had dentistry done 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago. And much of it had fallen apart over time. In defense, and we don't want to judge people, she had been taking care of a sick husband for about 5 years. She was a caregiver, and she had been taking care of her husband for all these years, and her daughter insisted and said, Mom, it's time for you to take care of yourself. So then the question is, what do we do? In this case, we literally had to take off a lot of that old dentistry. We always left her with provisionals that looked wonderful. This is her end result. In the top part of the mouth, we replaced those old metal crowns with real crowns, all porcelain when I say real. And on the lower, we did a combination of crowns and a partial. Today, we do partials with no metal. Those are removable, but she was missing a number of teeth in the back. Certainly a dramatic look, but we really thank the daughter for having the courage to bring her mom in.
But sometimes it's the husbands who bring the mom in, right?
Yeah, and your viewers may remember her, and I thought it was worth revisiting about a year or 2 ago. That was her smile. I said, please smile for the camera, and she said she wouldn't. It was very hesitant. We didn't show her before teeth, but her husband brought her in with her daughter, and again, the daughter said, and husband, she takes care of everybody. She never thought, in a sense, she was worthy of taking care of herself, and now at this age, she thought it was with their help and their encouragement. It usually takes some support, from other people to bring people in sometimes.
Oh, sometimes. And sometimes Mom herself decides to get some work done.
Yeah, and
right?
this was a story we brought to you a Valentine's Day ago where a husband didn't tell his wife where he was going with her and said for Valentine's Day, it was a Tuesday, and said, come on, I'm going to take you somewhere. She thought they were going to lunch, and instead they came to my office. This is her before. She was hesitant to go to the dentist. Again, he had said she was wonderful to her kids, and so he wanted her to have an opportunity. She was always bothered by the space, the color of their teeth. We did some reshaping on the bottom. Again, just 4 porcelain veneers and some whitening, and maybe 3 appointments to get her that beautiful smile. And she's glad she carries it with her every day. This is another one where a daughter brought in her mom in the 80s, and once again, she took care of her kids, her grandkids, a wonderful mother, a wonderful grandmother. And her daughter said, Mom, it's, again, time to take care of yourself. So in a role reversal of sorts, we were able to do porcelain veneers. Her posterior back teeth had fillings for many years, and we replaced those with crowns. So it not only looks a lot better, but she's healthier, her nutrition's better. She says she's able to chew food better. So what a wonderful story, and isn't it nice for us to be able to take care of the moms in our own lives?
Absolutely, especially on a day like today.
Thanks, Lori.
Moms, we love to see you smile. So why not make your smile look its best? For help, give Steve a call. His number's next. Thanks.
See what Dr. Stephen Marsh can do for your smile by calling 440-461-1003 or visit www.clevelandsmiles.com. Next, Black Life in Black and White. It's time to get up and go. An exercise segment on golden opportunities.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Cartman from Breakout Fitness, and today I'm going to show you how to work the quads in the front of the leg by doing a single leg squat. You ready to go?
I hope so.
Let's do this. All right, we're going to start by making sure that you have some firm surface next to you just in case you get in trouble. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to put all the pressure on the right leg or the left leg, whichever you choose to start with. The opposite leg is going to go out to your side, toes pointed towards the ground, and we're simply going to squat down as we lower that leg out and up. Okay, make sure that firm surface is next to you just in case you get in trouble. 12 to 15 repetitions. Make sure your knee stays in alignment with your shoulder. It should not buckle in. Lori, how you feeling?
Oh, I need this firm.
There you go. You're looking good though. Not too bad. Yeah, not too bad. Utilize your chair.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's perfect. All right, everybody. 12 to 15, 2 to 3 sets. And now it's your turn to get up and go.
For your copy of the exercise booklet, send $1 for postage to Golden Opportunities, 6105 Parkland Boulevard, Suite 140, Mayfield Heights, Ohio, 44124.
If it's true that a picture is worth 1,000 words, there are almost an unlimited number of important stories to discover at a current photography exhibit at the Cleveland Museum of Art. Barbara Tannenbaum is here, and she's the curator of the photography at the museum. She's here to help us focus on the stories told in the exhibit called Black in America. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Lovely to be here.
These photographs were taken by 2 different photographers. So who were they?
Well, it's a look at Black life during the Civil Rights era, everyday life, by 2 photographers. One, Louis Draper, who was an African American. He was a fine art photographer, so an insider. And then Leonard Freed, who was a photojournalist, white photojournalist, and he was an outsider, if you will, but went and spent time touring around the United States to different Black communities.
Okay, so let's start first with Leonard Freed. So what made him start on this journey?
Well, he was a photojournalist working in Europe covering the construction of the Berlin Wall.
Boy.
And he saw a black soldier standing there guarding, and it just hit him like boing. This man is risking his life to protect the rights of others, for rights that he himself does not have in his own country.
Right.
He immediately gave up working in Europe, went back to the United States, and photographed around New York in the Black communities, and then set out on a several-year tour of the South and went around. He was very interested in He covered civil rights demonstrations and protests for some of the publications, but for his own work, what he really cared about was Black culture and Black daily life.
Okay.
And this ended up in a book that he did, a very important and influential book in 1967-68 called Black and White America.
Okay, so Now, what do you tell us about the other photographer who is Louis Draper?
Well, Louis Draper grew up in a segregated society. He grew up in Richmond, Virginia, and he majored in history in college, and somebody handed him a copy of a photo book, a very famous photo book about an exhibition at the Museum of Modern Art by Edward Steichen called The Hand of Man, and boom, he knew he needed to be a photographer.
Oh, boy.
But you couldn't be a photographer, you couldn't learn to be a fine art photographer in Richmond, so he moved to New York, where he studied and worked as a commercial photographer during the day, because you couldn't make a living as a fine art photographer in the 50s and 60s,
Right.
and made his own work at night and on the weekends, and eventually became a teacher. But he photographed in the neighborhoods around Harlem, New Jersey, Philadelphia, all around the East Coast area, and he focused largely on the African-American neighborhoods and communities, but also others, Spanish Harlem. And he co-founded with a number of other black photographers a group called Kuminge, because there was no place for them to get together and discuss things and also to show their work. So they founded a space, and they really wanted to ponder the notion of black identity. What did it mean to be a black photographer? How did you make a photograph that showed that it came from an African-American photographer? And they experimented with using darker tones with certain kinds of scenes that he photographed. I'm not sure they ever came to an answer that was definitive. I think there's probably as many kinds of black photography as there are black photographers. But it was an issue that really preoccupied them in the 60s.
Is the organization still around?
It is still around.
Oh,
it still has a space in Harlem. It's a younger generation now that's involved with it, but it's a lasting legacy.
Wow. And one of the reasons for the exhibit right now has some very close to the city ties, correct?
It does indeed. Even though these images are of the 60s, in other parts of the country, they commemorate part of this year-long celebration of the city of the election of Carl Stokes 50 years ago as the first black mayor of a major American city, and the contributions that his brother, Congressman Louis Stokes, gave to the nation and the country. So the Cleveland Museum of Art's very delighted to participate in the year-long celebration with this exhibition.
All right, sounds like a great one too.
Well, please come see it.
I will. The photographic exhibition, Black in America, at the Cleveland Museum of Art continues through July 30th. My thanks to Barbara Tannenbaum for giving us a peek at these remarkable pictures today. Thanks.
Thank you.
Find out more by calling the Cleveland Museum of Art at 216-421-7350 or click to www.clevelandart.org. Next, a winning strategy.
What do the first 100 days of President Trump mean if you have $500,000 or more to invest? It means unique challenges and exceptional opportunities. I'm Jim Lineweaver, president of the Lineweaver Financial Group. Our complimentary new panel discussion and dinner is a must-attend for qualified investors. It's packed with strategies to preserve and grow wealth under the new administration, offered by 3 experts with more than 90 combined years of financial, tax, and estate planning experience. Please join us at award-winning Lockkeepers Restaurant in Valley View. Seating is limited, so call today. The number's on your screen, or you can visit us at lineweaver.net.
We've talked about charitable giving many times on this program. There is one technique that allows you to gift to accomplish 4 separate financial goals. Here to discuss this technique is my law partner, Michael Solomon.
Hello.
So, these 4 goals are a gift to charity, a charitable deduction, savings of income taxes, and a monthly stream of income. So tell us, what is that?
Well, this is something called a charitable remainder trust, and it's been around since 1969, and if you follow the rules, it's an accepted technique, no real risks. And basically what it is, you put an asset in a specialized trust, the charitable remainder trust, and it'll pay you a certain amount of money each month, and then upon your passing or a certain number of years, whatever left goes to charity.
Okay, so give us an example maybe with some numbers.
Okay, so for example, let's say you bought focus on income taxes for a moment. You bought some stock for $50,000 decades ago, it's worth $550,000 now. You decide to sell it, you're going to pay both state and federal capital gains tax somewhere between $100,000 to $150,000 in taxes.
Quite a bit.
That's a lot of taxes. If you put that stock in the trust and the trust sells it, no income taxes. So it saves you a lot of money, and that means there'll be more money for charity at the end of the day.
Okay, how about the income stream?
Okay, so what the trust says, it says for the rest of your life or for a period of years, you'll receive payments from this trust, a certain amount of payments, and generally it'll be ordinary income. And let me give you an example. So let's, again, you put that $550,000 in the trust. You're 65 years old. You say, for the next 20 years, I'm going to receive $2,300 a month. That means you'll get back the $550,000, and then what's ever left in the trust after the 20 years goes to charity. Based upon some numbers I did, assuming a normal rate of return, that could be over $900,000 going to the charity.
That's huge.
Yes.
Any other tax benefits?
Yeah, in addition, you get, even though the money doesn't go to charity for, in my example, 20 years, you get an upfront income tax charitable deduction. Again, based on the tables right now, that would be around a $112,000 deduction, which could possibly save you around $30,000 of income tax in the first year.
So in the end, you sell the stock, no income tax, you get monthly payments, you get a charitable deduction, and the charity gets money. Perfect. There's got to be a catch.
Well, nothing's perfect. So number one, once you set it up and put the asset in the trust, you can't change your mind. You've done. Number two, that if you're not charitably inclined, if you just want as much as you can get, then it's probably better just to sell the stock, pay the taxes, and keep the money. But if you want to make sure that you and the charity share the money, and on Uncle Sam, this is maybe a good idea for you.
All right. Sounds like an interesting technique. If you're thinking of giving to a charity, consider a charitable remainder trust. If you want to learn more, you can give Mike a call at the number coming up next, or you can see Mike speak on this topic at a complimentary seminar presented with the Lineweaver Financial Group at Lock Keepers in Valley View. The seminar will focus on ways to grow and protect your wealth under the Trump administration for those with $500,000 more or more to invest. It takes place on Thursday, May 18th at 5:30, and again on Tuesday, May 23rd at 5:30. Call or go online to reserve your seat.
Call Solomon, Steiner, and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information or to schedule a speaker for your organization. Or log on to www.ssnplaw.com.
Thanks for joining us. Now, we're preempted next week. I know you're sad, but we'll be back on May 28th. And on that show, having issues inhaling and exhaling will help you breathe easier. Plus, we'll go behind the scenes at a Northeast Ohio magnificent mansion. And we'll work out how you can keep working after you retire. But until then, please remember to make the most of your golden opportunities.
If you'd like to join our kitchen conversation, visit our website, www.goldenopportunities.tv. Like us on Facebook. Call us at 440-742-GO-TV or email us at kitchen@goldenopportunities.tv. We'd love to hear from you.
Golden Opportunities is paid for by Elder Productions.